Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor. We've been hearing this for a year now. They're not getting along. Blah, 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 blah. What's happening with the two best players on the Mets? Can they coexist? Do you have to trade one? Do you have to trade both? What's happening? And Steve Cohen, he has an interview with Post, and was a lot more candid about the situation than I thought he would be. But for the tone of that interview, that was kind of the tone where he was really, really candid about things, answered questions directly, beat around the bush on certain things, but it was honest. It was really honest and said that, yeah, there was an issue. That I know that they're good now. They've been working through it. They're working hard to be able to, have that relationship. And you hear all the stories about how the locker room was fractured last year, and with Nimmo and Pete Alonso and Soto being new and Lindor being the face of the team, and then all of a sudden, he was supposed to be dubbed the captain, and now he's not the captain because now there's never going to be a captain as long as Steve Cohen is owning the team. It's all this bullshit, and it's just like you had the conspiracy theorists come out of the woodwork and say, "Oh, well, this is why this is because Lindor and his wife, they're super political and blah blah blah, and they didn't like the fact that somebody was rooting for Trump." And it's like all of this nonsense. And then Will Salmon, I don't know if it was Will Salmon that reported and said that, Soto and Lindor's locker, their lockers are very, very like they're on the opposite ends of the clubhouse. That Steve Cohen had to sit them down in the room and talk to them about certain things. And it's just like, you have to understand. Juan Soto signed the richest contract in North American history. Lindor is the de facto face of the team. You're going to have a natural tension no matter what. It's just like A-Rod and Jeter. They were best friends until they weren't. And then he gets traded to the Yankees. And now you have to try to make this work while not looking like you guys don't really fuck with each other like that. And the relationships are different because Jeter and A-Rod had a falling out. Soto and Lindor did not have a falling out. It's just more two alpha males that are now on the same team, and somebody has to be the 1A and 1B. And that's all it is. It's a healthy, respectful competition of whose team this is. We all know who the Mets want the team to be. Of course, they want to make the team the guy that they're paying all this money to. And Soto came out and said, look, I want to see if I can be able to get the actual quote here. He said that when you meet a girl, you don't start kissing her right away. There were no issues last year at all. This is Soto speaking. We didn't have any beef or anything. Our relationship is getting better because it takes time. When you meet a girl, you don't start kissing her right away. And that's a fact. Like, sometimes when you have these super personalities, you got to work at it. You got to work at having a cordial relationship, an amicable relationship. Like, they're not going to be best friends. This is not Step Brothers, right? This is not one of those situations, or it could be. It could very well be that, right? Maybe we are in the Step Brothers phase where it's just like, don't touch my fucking drum set. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna rub my nuts on your drumstick. Like, they probably are in that stage where they're still feeling each other out. So for people that want to use this as like ammunition for, oh, they can't work, this is why the team sucks. No, this is not why the team sucks. Don't cut fucking David Stearns any bail. This team sucks because the construction of this team is shitty. And the guy who actually bought the groceries and put them together is the reason why this shit is this bad. So, I'm hopeful that Soto and Lindor can be able to really that can turn into friends, and they can be able to joke and stuff on the sidelines and all that other stuff. But all I need from them is a working relationship. I just need them to be able to, like you said, right? Put on a face in front of the media, so now nobody can be able to say nothing unless, there's real beat writing reporting that's going on that gets anonymous sources and sees what's going on, and then they can be able to tell a different story. But outside of that, then it's all work. It's constant work. It's like being in a marriage with your partner who you guys don't really have anything in common. I like comic book movies. She likes rom-coms. I like to watch sports and go to sporting events. She likes to sit by and read books. I like to play recreational sports with the homies. She likes to watch Baywatch, right? And all of these things, like all of your interests and your likes are so different. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a successful marriage with that person. That marriage just needs a little bit more work because it's not your soulmate. Oh, you like this? So do I. Oh, like that's the Notebook bullshit. That's not real life. Real life is you have to try to make things work, and sometimes it's fucking awkward. And sometimes you have to be able to meet people where they're at. And sometimes you'll never be able to see eye to eye, but you still got to have a working relationship with somebody. So that's all it is. I know every Met fan wants this lovey-dovey, hunky-dory, oh, I want a Jose Reyes and David Wright type of relationship. It might not be. Because at the end of the day, those guys came up together. These guys didn't. Lindor is much older than Soto is. Not much older, but he's older. And it's probably a reason why Soto gravitates more to guys like Carson Bench and AJ Ewing. So there's a lot of things that go on, as well as personalities just don't mesh sometimes. I can be as good as I want to be. You can be as good as you want to be. But sometimes your actual personalities just don't blend together. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think that people are really like grappling with. Like, oh my goodness, why can't they get along? They don't have to. Mm-hmm. Jeff Kent and Barry Bonds hated each other. Hated each other. There's so many other players in other sports and stuff like that that they've never had a real camaraderie. It doesn't stop them from winning. They just have to figure out a way to be able to create a team that's going to allow them to do so, but also too probably you can be able to find that buffer between two worlds. One player that can be able to talk to both of them. And sometimes when you have that player can be able to broach a peace agreement or even have meetings more frequently so you can be able to air out the grievances that you do have, or maybe it's just blown out of proportion in the media and you want to get some clarification. So I don't see it as a big deal. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm big on it. It's like the personality is like Soto's a pretty boring person. He just kind of shows up, goes to work, and then goes home.
Cares about baseball, that's it.
Yeah, and then Lindor, on the other hand, is more flashy, likes to go out. So when you have those like opposing personalities, like too, it's like I just in my life like wouldn't really be friends with someone who's like that. Like, yeah, we could talk, we could be coworkers, but I wouldn't really consider us friends.
Right.
Because we're just two different people, like completely different people.
Right.
But yeah, I think that also too, like they're both doing their job, so it's not like they're playing terrible. Soto's, all-star level. Lindor obviously just came back; he's hit some home runs, but I think what they have to do is either kind of like what you said, there has to be like a middleman on the team,
Yep.
or they just have to be like, hey, like we're the leaders, we're the of this group, like we have to kind of get together, um, kind of build upon our relationship and get this thing turning around because I feel like Soto is making obviously more money. He is the better player than Lindor,
Yeah.
but Lindor is it's his team. Like he's been here longer, so to kind of get over that, I understand like the jealousy that could be there. Cause Soto even interacting with the other players last year, like versus him interacting with the outfield with Ewing and Benji, like he looks like he's having a completely different time out there with them, like kind of taking on the like putting a shoulder arm over their shoulder for the younger players. Like you could tell like he cares to kind of teach them, but like what are you gonna tell Lindor?
Nothing.
Yeah. So I feel like people say like, well, look how happy he was on the Yankees and stuff like that. Well, you have the best player on that team in Aaron Judge, so there's like nothing that vice versa that Aaron Judge could say to him and Lindor. I mean, Soto's gonna be like, nah, like I'm not listening to you. Like that's the best player.
Because even with Aaron Judge, right, Silent Assassin, I don't think that they had this like BFF relationship.
No, they were coworkers.
Yeah, I think they worked well together because their skill sets meshed together very well. You got a guy that can be able to get on base whenever he wants to, can be able to hit for average and power and all this other stuff. And then you got an absolute monster behind you that's actually making my job a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a great working relationship. But since Soto has left, have you heard Aaron Judge say anything like overly glowing about Soto? No. He was like, yo, he's a great player. Had a good time here. We got to a World Series. Salute to him. But what am I continuing to like kiss your ass for if that's not the situation? Aaron Judge did not. I don't think that they were the best of friends, and I don't know if that's a Juan Soto thing or it's just happenstance that the two destinations that you come to have established guys that have been there, and there's a little of repositioning and jockeying, right? But the biggest difference to me is that Aaron Judge is a great player.
Mm-hmm.
Probably top 2 in the league in regards to a player. Lindor is somewhere up there, but it's a lot different where there's a clear-cut better player in the opposite way. Soto's coming in as a better player than the incumbent. When he went to the Yankees, he wasn't better than Judge. Different, yes. Not better than Judge.
Yeah, that's what trying to get. I feel like there's more of like a hierarchy. Like sort of like I'm better than you. Like I'm not gonna listen to anyone but myself because I'm the best player in this team.
Yeah.
Versus Judge, like Judge is a better player than Juan Soto. Even by a little bit, like he is like overall. But I don't know. I feel like it's just like if that is the case that this team is just so bad these last 2 years, because like that's just stupid. Like you're professionals, you have to get over that.
Exactly. I have no excuses for multi-million-dollar babies that can't figure it out. Figure it the fuck out, honestly. Like we ain't got no time to be doing this song and dance about is Lindor and Soto okay today? Like, did anybody see them talk to each other? Like, I don't care. I
Mhm.
just care about this team winning and building a culture. So
every win, every loss, every second got a cost to be the boss. Late nights, pressure heavy, never fold. Championship mindset, heart made of purple and gold.